Hello, my name's Sarah, and I like to share my thoughts, and I'm going to share some thoughts. So, yesterday I made a video about embodiments and how pretty much a black hole is an embodiment, and all density is pretty much just an embodiment. Everything is an embodiment. So if you haven't seen that, then you might want to watch that before this. It's only 20 minutes long, but I wanted to take that a step further and go into a talk about the Aether. What is the Aether, and why can we not agree on what God is? Let me see if I can't convince you or piss you off. Anyway, okay, what I'm talking about, there's been several different, what theories or whatever. I haven't read them, I don't know. I get frustrated. Okay, this is what I'm talking about. It's an invisible space. It's the mystery that's going on. What is it? What is it? What is it? How does it, it's nothing. No, it is something. I see a lot of scientists and physicists coming on these shows my mom watches on the not Discovery, but the Science Channel, whatever, and, the universe and the cosmos and what, blah, blah, have you. But they keep saying that the universe was created out of nothing. No, that's not correct. The universe was created out of a pure dense black hole that had nothing in it, no space in it. It was just folding into itself eternally, time, hell, black hole. And a tiny bit, you could take a speck of Aether, which is just pure consciousness, and you could send it through the vacuum into the black hole, and that tiny little speck could eventually transform any amount of density back into plasma. Okay, so that's kind of what I was showing yesterday. The reason it can do that is because Aether is a frequency so high that it does not vibrate at all. It transcends all vibration. It transcends all physical properties. Here's how this Aether works. So this is going to represent the frequency of plasma. Okay. I mean, it would obviously be much faster than this, but this is what we're going to represent this with. Okay. Actually, that might be closer. The colors aren't really going to matter here. Okay, see this? Do you see that beeping, blinking, vibrating? No. It's on. That's Aether. That's why it's calm. No more flux. Constant. This is antimatter. Loss of vibration. Loss of oscillation. When you lose your oscillation, you lose your consciousness. So, in an electromagnetic field, this creates a vacuum. Because pure quantum consciousness, which is the Aether, vibrates so fast that it is just on. Okay? That makes it omnipresent. It's everywhere because nothing is resisting it. There's no gravity at that frequency. There's no magnetic force in that frequency. It's the highest frequency possible. And dare I say that it is the consciousness that our universe, which is an embodiment, is sitting in. If you were to go on the other side of our force field that holds our universe together, on the other side of it, you would find nothing but Aether. And something transcends that, I'm sure. I know. think about that. Get the Aether down first. But so our space has Aether in it, which is just a pure consciousness. Okay, it's pure intelligence, pure consciousness, no physical properties. It's like a hummingbird's wings when a hummingbird takes flight. You can't see them anymore because they are flapping so fast. Same thing. The vibration is so fast that it transcends physical properties. There is no equation for this. Just because it can't be equated doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Because for an equation, you have to have this. You need that. See that equal sign? That's what you need to equate something. Well, guess what? Pure consciousness doesn't have an equal. It doesn't have a symmetry. You can't balance it with something else. You can't even affect it by anything else. But it can affect everything because everything is a manifestation of it. It can take physical shape by lowering or descending its frequency. Now, how does it do that? Let's see. I'm pure consciousness. I really would like to try something different. I'm going to slow down. Now there is a pulse. That is the beginning of time. Because time is magnetic. Time is gravity. Time is every time you see this screen go dark. Let there be light. Beginning of time. Plasma is the first physical manifestation of Aether or quantum consciousness when it descends its frequency. Its first manifest is plasma. Plasma is the embodiment. Okay? So at the core of the plasma, you would find Aether. That's what's powering it. It's its consciousness. Every embodiment embodies a consciousness. It's just the way it is. Our solar system has one, Gaia has one, the galaxy has one, and it's a collection of every bit of information within that embodiment. Our universe has one. Our universe is part of another bigger thing called the matrix. That's what I call it. The matrix is a part of a multi-matrix. It just keeps going and going and going and going, and the consciousnesses that embody everything, the ones on the furthermost, like the consciousness of the universe, knows everything in the universe. It's the collection of every thought in the universe. But you go in the galaxy doesn't have the consciousness of the universe. The universe has the consciousness of the galaxy, though. It just gets bigger and bigger as your awareness expands. So, we all need to understand what this Aether is. It's a transcend star frequency, and it's a consciousness. Aether consciousness. There we go. Aether consciousness. The most intelligent thing in the universe. Beyond plasma. That's God. It did create everything by entering into a vacuum black hole and transforming the density into plasma. Just like a positron enters an electron, and you get a proton as a result. The electron and the positron are not symmetry. Otherwise, they wouldn't leave anything after they met. They wouldn't, it's an entropy process that goes on. So when you blend two things and you have something left over, then there was something more in one of the things. That makes sense. If you take a -2 and a 2, you put them together, you have a 0. If you take a -2 and a 3 and you put them together, you've got 1 left. Well, with the electron and the positron, you get a proton left. which is an expanding force. So the positron has to be more. But dig this. There really isn't any measure of anything, because plasma can transcend star consciousness, the Aether. Here's the thing: the Aether the Aether consciousness is infinite. Guess what that means? Even if you put it in a cage, in an embodiment, that I like to call it the Omni cage. Even if you put it in an embodiment, it's infinite. So right before it transforms into plasma, it copies itself. It makes a copy. That's how intelligent it is. It makes a copy. So if you would like to see something in biology that is a good representation of this, look at the slime mold, I forget what, Dysterium, it's something like that, but if you just Google slime mold intelligence, you will see this quantum Aether consciousness represented in a plasma-like substance. And this stuff came up with the same pathways. There was food put out where all the cities in Japan are, right? On a map. They put this plasma on it. And it took the same route to get the food with no mistakes as the superhighways that are built in Japan between all these cities. That took over 20 years for super intelligent engineers to design. The plasma did it in a few days. Anyway, starlight plasma is a symmetry for antimatter. So you get Aether in an embodiment, and it's going to eat the walls of the embodiment that are pure density out and turn them into starlight. And that's the cosmos. Love you guys.